Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, September 20th, around 9 p.m. Very glad you're here. Yes, I know I need a shave. It's a little long, but the wife likes it, so that's why I keep it. Hope everyone's doing well. What's going on, Patrick and Chris and Coaster Cat and Steven, Raptor Will? So tonight we're going to talk about a bunch of things, some rumors that I'm hearing, as well as thoughts on the new channel name, and basically ask me or share with me your predictions, and I'll share my thoughts on them. And anything else you want to ask me, feel free to ask. These lives are pretty laid back. We try to have a good time and keep it, semi, what's professional and PG, and have a good time with it. So first and foremost, thank you everyone for all the support. I greatly do appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be able to do this, and it's not the easiest thing to say, "Hey, I'm going to go live and have people watch you," but it's fun and I enjoy it. So it's nice little personal touch to what I do, I guess. I'm the guy who said RIP theme park prediction. So yeah, the name itself was a hard decision to make, but I felt like it was the best, and it was for the best for the channel in the future and what I want to do and all that stuff. All right, so I'm going to answer some of your all's questions first, and then we can get into more of the fun stuff here shortly. Steel curtain future. I just recorded a video about that. Expect it over the next few days. I don't want to give too much away, but it's very intriguing for sure. How many rides did you get on Vortex at Kings Island? Jacob, I'm not a huge person that like counts every ride I get. So if I had to take a wild guess, I would say probably like I don't know, 100, 150, maybe 200. Back in the day, I never really marathon coasters, and when I was at Kings Island, when I lived there and worked there, the ride that we marathon all the time was the Flying Eagles. Like we would marathon that before they ripped it out and moved it to Carowinds in 2004. That season of 2004, that's what we did. We were at Vortex once, Racer, Flight of Fear, maybe Face Off, and Top Gun, and then go over to Flying Eagles and just try to break it as much as we could. So it's great. Let's see here. Do you think if X2 will get a retracking sometime in the future? I think every major steel coaster down the road is going to have to get either retracked or removed. So that's a major coaster for Magic Mountain. I do expect them to keep it around, so I could very well see that. Oh, I'm sorry, Jacob. Which ride is the Flying Eagles? It's the ride that used to be located right across from Vortex's Batwing before Italian Job came. Just flying scooters. A lot of parks have them. Waldemir's next coaster. That's interesting. Waldemir is a great park. If you have not been to Waldemir, go out and do something. So, hold on here. I'm getting criticized. Yeah, so Joe, thank you. Joe from East Coasters is watching. Go check out East Coasters. They're my dudes. Yeah, I'm going to get some graphics to hang up behind me here. So it looks like I guess I'm in an aquarium or something. But, it is what it is for now. Case Family Vlogs. Hey, what's going on? I'll be at Kings Island. And that's for everyone, too. I'll be at Kings Island. Let's see. What date is it going to be? The 21st of October. I plan on being there all day long. Can't wait. And get as many rides as I can on all the coasters. So I'll be at Cedar Point the 18th. Let's see here. Sorry, Cedar Point Thursday the 19th and the 20th on Friday. And I'm doing Kings Island on Saturday and then Kentucky Kingdom for a few hours on Sunday. Then I'm flying back to Charlotte. All right, let's answer some questions here. What's going on, Park Visions? Hope you're well, brother. Heading to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg on Sunday. Any recommendations? Obviously, get there early. Pantheon is the best coaster there. Though going into it, knowing that they might be running only one train and dispatch times are pretty abysmal, but that's really good. Actually, if you're getting there first thing and you want your credit, I would go to Dark Coaster, but you got to get there really first to get there on time and then head over to Pantheon. Cameron Hall, do you think King's Dominion will get a new ride in 2025? I do not. I think Cedar Fair is done announcing all their major capital besides Knott's. I mean, it very well could, but I just don't think that they would. I think it would be kind of out of left field. Maybe if something falls in Cedar Fair's lap and they decide to open up a King's Dominion in 2025, then yes. But I don't think anything is planned that point. What's more reliable, El Toro or Joe Burrow? Bob, it's quite a shame what's happening with Joe Burrow, but I'm not worried about it. He's a young quarterback, and it's definitely frustrating as a Bengals fan, but we'll bounce back. I'm not worried about it. El Toro's pretty, mediocre, reliable wise. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just like Joe Burrow. Brandon, since Six Flags Over Georgia and Fun Spot Atlanta have gotten new coasters, what do you think there is a chance for Wild Adventures getting one? Hopefully, it's just there's really that park is such a local driven market because Valdosta is not a very large city, and where does it pull from? The biggest metro is Jacksonville, around 2 hours away. So if they would ever get something, I really think they should have RMC Cheetah. I was shocked when they tore down Cheetah. I was very annoyed with that. So maybe they get like a family Vekoma Boomerang or something small like that. But hopefully they get something, soon. All right, let's see here. Oh, and Bob, thank you so much for the super chat. I did not even notice that was a super chat. Greatly appreciate you. So go Bengals, Who Dey. I don't know who your team is, but hopefully, they're doing better than the Bengals are. Do you think that Knott's could call in Zamperla if Top Thrill 2 is a success? Yes, very much so. I talk about that in my next video coming out very soon. And if you have not watched my video I put out today about ranking the Six Flags parks, be sure to do so. There's quite a few surprises on that list, and it's just my personal opinion. But check it out. Put a lot of time in that video. Really excited for that. But yeah, I do think they could. But the thing about it is they can't build a spike there. So I share why in that video. So enjoy. Huddy R, thank you both. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Hope you and the family's doing well, and look forward to riding Steel Vengeance in row 3 with you in October. That'll be a lot of fun. Yes, definitely. Knott's gets a new coaster within the next 5 years. I definitely can see that. I think they'll actually get 2 coasters in the next 5 years. What are my thoughts on Loch Ness Monsters retracking in 2024? I love it. It's great. I love seeing the park preserve that classic aero coaster. So I'm very excited for it. What are my thoughts about Canada's Wonderland getting a B&M inverted launch? Well, Alex, I mean, obviously they haven't confirmed it yet, but I love the idea. I think I would rather have a launched B&M inverted over a launched B&M wing coaster personally. But I, for one, I don't know about anyone else, but I would much rather have a Vekoma or an Intamin mock ride, something other than B&M at that park. It's just like Kings Island, really, because you've had Orion. I mean, at least you had Mystic Timbers kind of separating up all the B&Ms. Do I think Busch Gardens Williamsburg could work with RMC in the future? Anthony, I already think they are for the project coming up in 2025. Yes, please give this stream a like. I really do appreciate it. We have 16 likes right now and 60 people on. So if we can get up to 17 likes, that'll make me happy. Maybe 20. Yes, Mystic Timbers is really good. Honestly, that's my favorite coaster at Kings Island. And I want to know If you guys have been to Kings Island, what's your favorite ride at Kings Island? Mine again is Mystic Timbers. It's just I love it. It's really, really good. All right, I have another super chat here. Raptor Will, thank you very much. I appreciate you. What are your thoughts on Outlaw Run? iBox is needed. I rode it last year and it was a little janky, a little violent, but I love that ride so much. Like I kind of overlooked it. And honestly, I think it was too because Matt and I, who I was with, was in line for the front row. And right as we're about to get on, like I'm talking like one cycle before, the news broke that California's Great America was getting sold off. You know, the Cedar Fair is going to sell the land and close down the park. So my mind from that moment was thinking, okay, how Matt and I can go record a video. Where can we record a video? And the pressure is on me for not stuttering or not screwing up talking for an 8-minute video. So my head really wasn't there to enjoy Outlaw Run because I was more or less, let's get off the ride and go record and get one of the first videos out about this breaking news. So, but I love Outlaw Run, and I definitely can see them iBoxing a lot of it very, very soon. Son of Beast rumors. There's no real rumors at this point that I'm hearing. I definitely think that a new coaster is coming 2025, 2026, and I would expect to see it in the Vortex plot of land. Vortex or Worlds of Fun gets a launch coaster in 2025. What's going on, Missouri coaster enthusiast? I would love it, but I just don't see Cedar Fair dumping in that type of money to Worlds of Fun so soon after Zambezi Zinger opened up. But again, I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. I just don't see it. Yeah, my Haunted Beast video. Yeah, that stuff was crazy. So if you like a good ghost story, watch that video. It's the haunted theme park video, or no, it's the Ghost of Kings Island. I think I did a haunting video of 5 different theme parks around the world. That was really creepy and fun to do last year. And then I did a Kings Island video talking about all the Ghost of Kings Island and my interaction with one. It's pretty cool. Do I think Rip Ride Rocket's getting ripped down soon? Yes, I'll share more in my new video coming up. It could get retracked. I mean, it could, but I mean, does Universal want to spend the money on retracking a coaster that is hard to evac on that vertical lift, and it's not the most smoothest ride out there, most enjoyable, and those trains cause a lot of issues because you have the control panel on the, on the lap bar plus all the lighting on it. It's a lot. So I don't see them doing that, but we will see. Cameron Hall, when will SeaWorld Orlando make a coaster announcement? SeaWorld parks are so weird. Like they just announce stuff randomly. So I could expect to be like on a Tuesday at 9 p.m. on October 28th. I don't know. Like you just don't know. All of Rivertown in 2023, Kings Island. I mean, they could definitely use some new rides. I mean, I personally believe Stunt Track can run in the cold. I don't think that has any issue of Valiant. Maybe Adventure Express and Vertigo. I think there's just a lot. Even the Bat. I mean, the Bat's momentum's insane. So there's a lot of rides that I think Kings Island could open up, but I don't think it's necessarily about the weather. I think it's about Cedar Fair wanting the experience to be focused on Christmas and the holidays and the lights. And I also think it's a lot about staffing as well. Was that? I just heard a baby crying. Was that my daughter or my son? Let's see. Gotta test the wife. 1 second. Sorry. Who's crying? All right. Adam, what's going on? Thank you so much. Where does 2024 rank with other new coaster years? That's a good question. I was actually thinking about that as I was like compiling my list of video cues and stuff, what I want to talk about. And it feels like maybe it's just me, but this year, besides Top Thrill 2 and Iron Menace and the couple stuff from Six Flags, it's kind of been a lackluster. Things will start picking up again when Thorpe Park announces Project Exodus. but there's just not a ton of new coasters coming in 2024. I do think 2025 will be a much better year for coasters in terms of Six Flags and Cedar Fair. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. You're going to Williamsburg, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. What do I expect? It's one of the most beautiful theme parks in the world. Some great roller coasters, some solid food, amazing shows, and mediocre operations. Could I see America take the record for the world's longest coaster? It's gonna be hard to top Falcon's Flight once that opens, but I mean, maybe. But would the return on investment make sense for a park to do it? Does it make sense to spend that type of money to claim that record? Will that record bring in the amount of people to, pay for that coaster just to break that record? So real fast, what's everyone thoughts on the name? I changed the name. It used to be Theme Park Predictions, and now it's Keep Riding Coasters. And the main reason why is because I do so many more types of videos besides predictions, and that will still be a priority of the channel. It's just going forward, and the longevity of what I'm trying to do is create basically a platform that talks about coasters and theme parks as well as it becomes a business. So I'm trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And I've heard a lot of good feedback, but I just want to make sure everyone's, what's everyone thinking so far? It's been a few weeks, almost a month now, I believe. Feel free to give me your honest feedback. I personally like it. I was nervous and I like it more and more I hear it. And yeah, I was talking with El Toro Ryan, and he's like, "Man, I can't believe you changed your name. Theme Park Predictions was classic." I'm like, "I know it's horrible," but he's like, "I understand why you're doing it, and I get it, and I like the new name." All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking with McLean, the Fury guy. Sorry. Next time, say hi to me if you can. The new name is trash. Well, thank you for your opinion. I said honest feedback, so I do value that. I appreciate that. I would love to know what you thought about Theme Park Predictions. Was that a trash name or a better name? Thank you, Steven. Go Bengals. Do I think Dollywood's next coaster will be an extreme launch since Lightning Rod is losing its? That's a good question, and I I don't know. Like Dollywood, the last two out of the three last major coasters Dollywood has added. Actually, three out of the four, I believe, his Fire Chaser. I think it was 2013, and then Lightning Rod 2016, then Fire or Dragon or oh my gosh, um, my son's gonna kill me for forgetting this name. What's the one? Dragonflyer. Dragonflyer. Dragonflyer was 2018 when Wildwood opened, and then 2023 was Big Bear. Well, maybe Wildwood didn't open in 2018. I can't remember. Anyways, all I'm trying to say is three out of the four last major coasters had a launch. So I think 2026 will not feature a launch. I would love it to feature a launch, but I could very well see them not doing that. So we will see. Thank you, Matt Carlos, for your honest feedback. I appreciate that. Southern Stars, thank you very much. I appreciate it. What do you think will happen to Boulder Dash in the next 15 years? Again, thank you for the super chats. I don't know. Like Boulder Dash is fantastic, and I've not been on it in probably 5 or 6 years. I really do need to make a point to visit there next time I'm visiting my mother-in-law uh, next summer. I really love Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash at night is fantastic. It's so good. If you've never been on it at night, be sure to check it out. I think it's definitely going to be safe. I could very well see. I did a video about this about a year and a half ago now, where they could RMC it and make like the best coaster ever in the woods. But I don't know if they ever would do that. But I definitely feel like it'll get some TLC and it'll be a wooden, out of control coaster in 15 years from now. Now, if Lake Compounds can finally start operating as a better park and keeping rides open, that's a whole other issue. Thank you, Huddyar. Yeah, new name is great. It sums up your entire brand in 3 words. Plus, it's perfect for your merch. I agree. That's a big reason why I did it as well, because a lot of people. I appreciate everyone who bought a shirt of mine or a piece of merch. They wear it in the parks, and people start, "Oh, what's that?" And so it's easier to say, "Oh, it's Keep Riding Coasters." And my new dragster graphic, if you haven't checked this out, it's one of my favorite designs I created. It pays tribute to the original dragster plus kind of the new dragster. Arms down, head back, and hold on. But over here on the side, it's hard to tell. It says "Keep Riding Coasters." So actually, I think it was this shirt as I was designing it, and it kind of like my wife came in and it's like, "Oh, I like this design, but how do people know it's you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll just put theme park predictions on it." And I'm like, "This doesn't really flow right. Like all this, then theme park predictions at the bottom." But the Keep Riding Coasters is a little bit better. Yes, coasters are life. Sorry, I did not. I saw this comment earlier. Any tips on how to start a coaster channel? Remain positive for sure. If I can do it, you can do it 100%. I taught myself everything, and just have fun with it. And consistency is the key. So whether you put out 1 video a month, 1 video a week, 5 videos a week, try to keep it as consistent as possible, and just have fun and enjoy it. And make sure your thumbnail, your description, as well as your title, those are the 3 most important things to worry about when it comes to YouTube videos. And just make sure your audio is good, and just be you. Let your personality shine. Ryan, thank you very much for the super chat. Is the steel curtain at Kennywood the reason why the Steelers are doing so poorly? Um, I would say the Steelers are 1-1, so they're better than my Bengals, who are 0-2. But steel curtain is just. I have a video coming out. I'm talking about that ride and the future of the ride. I really like Steel Curtain. It's one of the Kennywood's one of those parks. If you've ever been to Kennywood, let me know. Because on I ride Phantom's Revenge, I get off thinking that's my favorite ride in the park. Then I go over to Steel Curtain, and the way it just hits that brake run, there's so much momentum left. And I'm like, man, I think this might be my favorite ride in the park. I think ultimately I really like Phantom better, but I love Steel Curtain. Go Saints. Okay, that's okay. Bring back the Fury crack shirts. We wanted one. Ah, Cedar Fair is not really happy with me about that, so I really probably shouldn't do it. I'm trying to get on the media list for Carowinds, and they try to get me for some copyright stuff, but there's nothing they can get me for because I did nothing wrong, and there's nothing that on my shirt of the Fury crack shirt that was copyrighted material. Let's see here. Try to do 1 per week. Good. Coasters are life. Absolutely. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate rubbing it in my face that you're not a. I'm not. Oh, you're not a fan of the new name. Okay, I thought you were just saying you're still not a fan of the name. We talked like 6 hours in the car about it. Come on, come on. Yeah, I know KRC does not sound as good as TPP, but however, one of the positives is TPR is theme park reviews, so it's like a little close to that TPP. So KRC is a little bit different. Furman, congratulations. That's a good question. Milestone coaster credit at New England. I would probably go with Superman just because it's like a legendary ride and everything else. So we'll see. Ooh, that's a good question. Brian Fishman, is the Comet and the Phoenix the best Buzz Bar coasters? I know Phoenix is up there. Comet, I've not been on Comet since 2007 or 6, but I'll definitely be going back next year with my son because they're opening the Bobcat up. So I'm excited. I know Matt. It was my wife's idea and Matt's idea about the crack shirt. That was not even my idea, and they came up with the slogan for it. And I said, "All right, Matt and Kate, I'm gonna put it on my community tab for a day to see what happens." And I sold like 4 or 5 shirts. I'm like, "Well, I'll just do one more day." And I sold more shirts, and people still want the shirt. I love it. I really can't. I want to, but maybe I'll have a secret link that goes to it that corporate for Cedar Fair won't see, and I'll still sell them. I doubt it, but we'll see. All right, here. Let me get back to some questions here. Cedar Fair or Six Flags? I mean, Cedar Fair, in my opinion, does so many things better, but I'm very, very intrigued with how Six Flags is handling things right now. And I just love Fiesta Texas. Like that park, I might even take that park over any Cedar Fair park other than like Cedar Point or Kings Island. That's how much I like Fiesta and how that park doesn't feel like a Six Flags park. And by the way, if you don't have any plans and want to have some fun and a really cool coaster event, come out to Roller Coaster Rodeo. It's the first, I think, the second weekend of June. The park will post dates about it. It's at Fiesta. It's a fantastic coaster event. Matt and I went last year, or this past June, and it was amazing. We rode Iron Rattler like 34 times in about an hour and a half time span, and Wonder Woman 12 times in 30 minutes, and no lines at all. It was fantastic. It was really, really good. So if you want a cool coaster event, I know it's like the weekend after, before Hollywood Nights, and then the Kings Island has a big event, Coaster Stock, and I think Cedar Points is right around then. But the problem with Holiday World, particularly, is the lines for Voyage and Raven and Legend at Night and Thunderbird are very long. So I don't like long lines, and there's no fast lane there, and it's ERT. So you have really cool people you're going with, but I like Matt and I Rhode Island Rattler, the same seat, same row, same train, like 14. What, Matt, if you're still on, you can correct me. I think 14 times in a row from like 11:23 to like 12:10 in the morning. It was amazing. We didn't even get up. The train came in, restraint opened up, we closed it, we're done. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Come on. Yes, it's great to see Six Flags working with Intamin again. What type of trains do you think the unidentified B&M at Six Flags Orlando is getting? I would say something like maybe like Intimidator, like the staggered seating trains, but more family oriented, or maybe just having the clamshell. No, I don't think that would work because then those would have a lower height requirement most likely. But some type of restraint, it's gonna be interesting. I'm very intrigued by that. Yes, Cedar Point needs a very good, solid wooden coaster. Cannot disagree with that. 100%. Boardwalk Bullet is your number one. Okay, that's interesting. That's a fun ride. I appreciate that. A Wild Walter, you posted this a bunch of times. Make a poll asking if Magnum sucks or great. Magnum's great. Come on. Thoughts on the next coaster at Fun Spot Atlanta? We all need to get out to Fun Spot Atlanta to go check out Air Force One. I'm not lying when I tell you it's fantastic. It really, really is. It really is fantastic. So be sure to check it out. And their new coaster at their next coaster, I think it'll be family oriented and obviously not so crazy intense, but they definitely have the room for a massive coaster. Let's see here. Yeah, 12 times and third to the back row without moving. That was great. What's going on, East Coasters? Hope you're doing well, bro. Coaster Scorpion, how's college? Hope you're doing well. What park's going to get the Axis coaster? It's already been announced. I think some park over in Europe, but we don't really know much about it. So obviously that. But as far as another coaster over here in America, maybe a Six Flags park, maybe like there's a sleeper park out there that decides to build it. I don't know. That concept's so intriguing, and until we know more about like the price tag of it, we'll know a lot more like which parks can afford it. I'm glad college is doing well for you. That's another T Rex. Yeah, maybe so. I mean, it's ironic how the T Rex was so hyped, and even though RMC still hypes it up, I still think the T Rex will happen one day. I just think it's almost to the point where it's a cool concept, very similar to the single roller coasters. It wouldn't be too hard to pull off, but I think that they've got to get their single roller coasters under control as far as maintenance goes before they do the whole fledged, what's it called? The T Rex. You live 3 hours from any coasters. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, one day you'll move closer to more coasters. Coaster Team, can you give a shout out because you have a coaster channel? Yeah, go check out Coaster Team for sure. What coasters would I recommend operating at Kings Island? That's a very good question, Jacob. I did the Beast, and when I did it, it was 2004, so that was like the biggest ride there, of course, and it was awesome. It was the best experience I've ever had working at a park. I'm still friends with my supervisors from that ride, as well as the crew members there. But now, if I had to pick, I'll rephrase it as if I'm getting a job at Kings Island right now, what ride would I work? I would probably say the Beast only because there's so much like unknown about it, like what's in the woods. It's the world's longest wooden coaster. And even with Orion and Diamondback and Mystic and Banshee, I feel like that coaster is still the staple for the park. And if Kings Island spent the money on Orion or offered a better layout that could have made it the marquee ride for the park, then I would have chose that. But we'll see. Do I think Sky Rush will be removed from Hershey within the next 5 years? No. Maybe the next 10. But I do think that park, Sky Rush is still popular. That still has a line. Candemonium has a line. I really love Hershey. Patrick Ryan, Iron Rattler is very, very good. If King's Dominion getting a B&M wing hyper coaster over 200-footer for the volcano replacement? Are they? I don't know. Maybe that'd be cool. Never thought about that. That'd be a cool concept. King's Dominion, what they should do is if they would build a hyper coaster, that would just be the most popular ride in the park because it'll be reliable, it's high capacity, and the GP would eat that up. If I was in charge of King's Dominion, that's what I would add in a heartbeat. How you doing, Julie? Hope you're well. When will Nighthawk get the axe at Carowinds? What could take its place? I think Nighthawk and Vortex go down at the same time, and they could do a lot with that. I would love to see Midways kind of interact with all the areas around it into like a central hub, with a roller coaster, one coaster going all around it. It'll be cool. Why can't Dollywood use a cable lift like El Toro? I think it's more or less the fact that it's a high-speed chain lift. So we don't know who's providing the lift hill. The chain. Could it be RMC or whoever does chain lifts for RMC or someone else? I don't know, but they could. But I just don't feel like. I think a cable lift is already causing more issues. When if you look at El Toro, Millennium Force, Expedition G Force, and the other ones, the cable lift is always a little bit more maintenance involved with that. So I think they're really trying to play it safe with lightning rod as they should. And a high speed launch, or I'm sorry, high speed chain would be better off long term. What's going on, Coaster Fox, Brad? How's Iron Menace construction? Coaster Riders, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Come on now, you know that. Do I think the Nessie retrack means anything for Kumba? The corkscrews are all over the place. Every piece of advertising for decades. Uh yeah, maybe. I definitely do not think Kumba's going to get removed completely. I have not been on El Toro since last year when I was up at the East Coasters, so I don't know how rough. I don't know how rough it is right now. That'll be cool, East Coasters. I'm down. Yeah, I have not checked out the last Top Thrill 2 update. All I know is I'm getting more excited about Top Thrill 2. I still don't like the name. It has not grown on me one bit, but I still feel like that vertical spike going up that spike in reverse is going to be probably one of the coolest coaster elements out there. Not only how high you are, but you're going in reverse at 100 miles an hour, and then it's like the free fall. I'm really looking forward to that. We will see. That's great. Be sure to check out Brad too on his channel. He covers Iron Menace construction very closely, so be sure to check that out. What are my thoughts on flying turns? I really like flying turns. I just don't like the line for it. So when I go to Knoebels, I'd much rather ride Phoenix and Twister and Impulse over flying turns. However, if it's like a 15-minute line, I'll ride it. But it's a good ride. Nice. Someone got the name theme park predictions too. Yeah, well, I already have it on my other account, so good luck with that. Thank you, Coaster Cat. Coaster Scorpion. So, how's life, Brandon? How's the wife? How's the kids? Everyone doing good? We are all good here. We're getting ready to go to Tennessee tomorrow. We last second decided to go check out Dollywood's Fall Festival for the next day and a half. We have to be back next weekend for Mason softball, or not softball, but t-ball. So we're excited to go up to Dollywood for the next 2 days. Thank you, Texan Coasters. I love your merch. I really appreciate it. Check out keepridingcoasters.com for all my merch. Huge shout out goes to Matt Carls for getting my website hooked up for me. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. Do I think Top Thrill 2 will be worth the drive from Tennessee? Absolutely. Your favorite CA ride? Ghost Rider. My favorite California ride, Ghost Rider X2 or Wonder Woman. I've not been on it, Matt. You know that. I love how you rub it in. I greatly appreciate that. So I've not been on any of those yet. I would say what I'm most excited about would probably be Ghost Rider. Do I think there'll be another big coaster edition to Six Flags Great Adventure in 2025? Uh, East Coasters, if you're still on, why don't you answer that? That's your home park. You might have a better insight for that, but I think there could for sure. All right, here, let's see here. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you, Huddy R. Hold on real fast. That's a good idea. If you're interested in checking out my merch, there's the link for it. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so East Coaster saying nothing for 20 or no coaster for 2025. I can see that potentially for sure. I think there's a lot of different parks in the Six Flags chain that could get a coaster. You have New England, you have Magic Mountain, and maybe over Texas. I think I'm forgetting one too. Great America. Like there's a lot of other parks that I think will get one before them. Chris, when will your haunted garage haunt be open and can we come down? I decided to make a haunted house again. Won't be as crazy or big, but I'm going to do it again. My son is super excited about it. So I don't know any details yet, but I will share them. Whoever lives in the area wants to come and check it out. Why is four across seating less popular than two, even though it's far superior? I don't know if it's not as popular. I love the four across seating on B&M coasters. It's great capacity. You kind of hang out the side of the track. I think there's pros and cons to both, actually. But most of my coasters in the top five, top 10 are two across seating. But that's just my personal preference. But I think both are really good. I mean, I love sitting Fury on the outside seats. Do I think Snoopy's soapbox racers at Kings Island will be the best boomerang in the chain? Yeah, I think so. Until they get a super boomerang coaster. We'll see. There's a lot of cool things Cedar Fair can be doing in the future as well as Six Flags. So it'll be interesting. Steven, is there any chance that Six Flags Great Escape gets a new coaster, that Frontier City gets one soon? And if so, what? If so, what? Yeah, so Great Escape is getting a Gravity Group wooden coaster called Bobcat. Frontier City is not owned by Six Flags. That's the biggest caveat there. So I don't know how much Six Flags themselves would spend money on Frontier City on a coaster like that. However, if whoever would buy the coaster, I would love to see a family of Vekoma Boomerang or the family Gravity Group wooden coaster. I think a Premier Skyrocket 2 would do great for that park as well. Is it known how much Top Thrill 2 cost? No, but I would predict around 15 million if I had to guess. What's going on, Jay Johnson? I'm glad you're getting out to other parks besides Kings Island. I think that's your own park. Candemonium blew you away. Where do you rank it? In my personal rankings, probably in uh, 50 to 25, somewhere in that area. For Hershey rankings, probably my fourth favorite. I like it. It's a good ride. India, what's going on? What time is it in India right now? Thank you very much for joining us. That's great. SSR, what's that stand for? I should know that. Yeah, Legoland in Florida did close their family hang and bang, the Vekoma family inverted coaster. So it'll be very interesting to see exactly what happens with that. I can see them definitely getting something, but we'll see. 7 a.m. Well, good morning. Hope you have a wonderful day. What is the best coaster in India? Please let us know, as I'm curious. Now that Holiday World is filling the family coaster gap in the lineup, what do you see on the horizon for them? I mean, they spent a lot of money on Thunderbird, and Good Gravy is definitely doesn't cost near as much, but they're spending some little bit of money on it, obviously. So I think by 2030 they'll have another thrill coaster for sure. Oh, Snoopy's Soapbox Racers. Uh, I would say Good Gravy, just because all the cool theming around it. It looks really cool to me. What is the best coaster in King's Dominion? I would go I-305. Then slightly below is Twisted Timbers. Nothing for 10 years at Holiday World. I mean, maybe so, but we'll see. Will Fire in the Hole have ejector airtime? I doubt it due to the being a family coaster. That'd be pretty cool, though. Not going to lie. Any plans of going to Lost Island? That part of the country is so hard to get to because every park's like spread out like 4 or 5 hours. So I doubt it. I know next year my time's limited because we have kids and I homeschool my son. But I feel like next year I'm doing California at some point. I'm going back to Texas for a roller coaster rodeo, and then obviously Cedar Point for Top Thrill 2. Then I'm going to be taking a family trip to Cedar Point as well. Great adventures in the works. You got to see my boys East Coasters, and then I think that's all the big ones that I'm probably going to be hitting up next year. So I doubt it. Okay, yeah, that Nitro being on floorless. I think it's almost like the Batman Dark Knight, whatever it is at New England. Very similar layout to that, but the better first drop. So I know where that is. That's cool. What is your idea of the new SLC model? I don't know. I don't think they have a new SLC, but they have the suspended thrill coaster Vekoma does, and those things look awesome. So I would love to be able to ride one of those and see more. Did you see that Primordial open at Lagoon? It seemed to open without anyone knowing. Yes, it is. My buddy Brian and Sarah, very, very, very good friends of my family here. I actually met Brian at Fury back in 2015. They wrote it and they said it's fantastic. It's really cool. It's a interactive dark ride roller coaster. It's a lot of fun. So I definitely need to get out there. You're up next year, Brandon. Let's talk. Text me. Could you imagine if Kentucky Kingdom got a new coaster called TT3 or Top Thrill 3? That's great. Oh, Coaster Cat, very good question. Be sure to follow her channel as well and her on Instagram for sure. Do you think Top Thrill 2 will be ready for the park opening in the spring? I think so. I did hear there was a delay, but I think the recent weather trend, they're caught up now. And so I definitely Cedar Point always likes to get everything up open as soon as possible. So I definitely think they could. Well, that's not good, legend. He says, sorry. Legend says, so apparently the boss of Six Flags St. Louis is confirmed to not get the RMC treatment. They're supposed to be doing major renovations instead, hoping for a nice retrack and the new GCI flyer trains. We'll see. What's up, Ghoster Coasters? How you doing, man? Hope you and your mother are doing well. Could Zamperla be contacted to revamp Ka? I mean, sure, why not? They might. I mean, you never know, right? Down the road, it'll be interesting to see how Dragster pays off. I hope you can make it to Cedar Point for the first time. You'll love it. India's #1 coaster enthusiast. When do you think we'll see the first Axis coaster? I think they announced it. That's opening in 2024. I don't think we even know like much about it. I think the park has been announced, but we don't know anything about it. It's very under the radar. So I would suspect 2024. Do we know what Lake Compounds is doing with Wildcat? They're having, I think, Gravity Group now come in and reprofile it and really try to make it a better coaster. You're going to Dollywood tomorrow. Sweet. Enjoy. I'll be there on Friday. Yes, Mark. Mark. Yes. Is Anaconda getting the axe soon? They definitely need to remove that ride eventually. It's a pain in the butt. And that on that lake right there, that would be really cool for a new coaster of some type. I mean, they can even extend the water park onto that lake a little bit and add a new coaster. Tons of room there. Cedar Point Thursday, 6 to 12 p.m. is the best, or 12 a.m. is the best time to go to beat the crowds. Yeah, for sure. That's exciting. I can't wait to go up in a month. The Intamin Rattles setting in on Velocicoaster already. I haven't heard much about it. I have not been on Velocicoaster since February. So, I mean, I'm not, it probably is a rattle now. So hopefully Universal gets their act together and makes it not so rattly in the future. We'll see. How many likes for you to jump in the Lake Erie water in October? Uh, we'll see. Give me like 1 million likes. That's cold water. Interesting question. Is Corkscrew getting the axe anytime soon? I predict so, probably in the next 5-10 years. In the speedo. Yeah. We'll see. So what is more exciting? Like, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, there hasn't been that many crazy like coaster announcements this year besides Top Thrill 2 and Iron Menace. I think we would be more hyped about Great Adventures if we knew more about it, like, maybe an official POV and better renderings. But obviously, that was such a quick project, and I I, I feel like I'm missing. I wish there was another park out there that was investing in a major coaster. Maybe because the Fire in the Hole is really great. I'm excited for that, but you don't have many. Even the SeaWorld parks are building smaller rides in 2024, which is great. I just kind of just I feel like I'm just missing. I need more. Not to be greedy, but all right. A few more minutes with some questions. So any questions you ask, I'll try to answer. Could Fire in the Hole be the first RMC Wild Moose? I mean, I don't think so because the Wild Moose is designed to be a family wild mouse coaster. But if they wanted to really enlarge the whole wild mouse concept, Fire in the Hole style ride could very well be like a wild mouse if there's sharper turns. But I don't think so because we don't really know much about Fire in the Hole. But I would suspect it's going to be a lot like the original ride. A lot of slow movements. So I don't see it being more like a wild mouse. But cool idea though. Do I think Magic Mountain will build the Giga, or is it all fluff? I think there's definitely some truth to that. I do. I feel like it could, the next couple of years will be very interesting. I think I have more faith that Knott's Berry Farm will get the first. I'm sorry, Magic Mountain will get the first Giga in California at this point over Knott's. Coaster fan. Also, how would you feel as if Darien Lake got a wild moose from RMC, the wild, the wild mouse coaster called Wild Moose on the Loose? I love it. It's catchy, cute. I like it. My only RMC credit is Iron Gwazi. Will the rest of them be disappointing? Absolutely not. Every RMC is different. It has its own feel to it, and they're all just top notch rides. And the crazy thing about RMC is there's no other company out there that have built coasters at parks that no matter what park, if you look back at all the major RMC coasters, it's hard to argue they're not the best coaster at the park. So it's not the second best coaster. So I think you'll be fine. Adam, thank you so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Your wild guess for next unexpected coaster removal. Dude, everyone's talking about coaster removals. Are you guys like looking at my thumbnail over here because I'm creating a video that's coming out very soon about like 15 coasters that I see getting removed by 2030. It's just ironic that majority of the questions tonight are about coaster removal predictions and thoughts. And wow, so you'll find out in my upcoming video, but there's some definitely some interesting thoughts on there that I could see happening, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Kumba's not on my list. I do not think Kumba will get removed. I think it will get retracked. What will Cedar Point's next coaster be and when? 2028? I think 2027, if I had to guess. I think 2027 is the year I have them marked down for the next coaster. And there's so many things they could do. It all depends if they're going to remove a coaster or they're going to remove Snake River Falls. There's so much they can do with that. So I would personally love to see a Mach Extreme Spinner. Time Traveler is phenomenal. Ride to Happiness at Palopsaland, I heard is phenomenal. If we can get a ride just like that, then oh my God, it'll be amazing. The best new haunt this year. I mean, obviously, I definitely want to check out Dorney's new haunt. I'm not going to be able to make it up there for it, but the one themed to Iron Menace. Brad, is that pretty good? Can you put Steel Vengeance in your backyard? Only with HOA approval. Airtime Thrills made that point, and I agree with him. I'm talking about Rougarou. What? Oh, Rougarou needs to be relocated to a smaller park. I mean, I could see that, but we'll see. I think Michigan's Adventure will get a new coaster by 2030, and not just like they just got a kid coaster, but a major coaster. Obviously, not like massive, but a decent coaster that we'll all go up and ride for sure. I like Rougarou. I mean, it kind of beats you up a little bit, but that layout's really cool. I love going over the first drop, and I really enjoy the first half of the ride. Even the second half is good. I personally feel like it's underrated. It's no Raptor, but I think I like it probably better than Valraven. If I had to rank Cedar Point's B&Ms, I would go Raptor number one, then Gatekeeper, then probably Rougarou, then Valraven. I like Valraven for the views. If Valraven was like Shikra or Griffin, then it'd be a different story. I even like Diabolical's cliffhanger at Fiesta better than Valraven. Man, I hope Detroit gets a park, bro, and you better be like working there or doing there something because I know you love that whole area up there, and your documentary series on your channel is fantastic. So that'll be really cool. Why does Valraven get hate? I think a lot of people have ridden Valraven and Shikra and Griffin, and even Yukon Striker. I've heard it's better than Valraven. I think it's just kind of lacks the intensity. It's a fun ride, but when I go to Cedar Point, I don't have to ride it. I mean, I would ride at least once, but when I was there last year with East Coasters, I rode it once one day, then the next day we didn't even bother with it. It's a good ride. It's fun. I love Dominator too. I've been riding that since 2000 when it was at Six Flags Ohio. So good. Love my Dominator. It's my favorite floorless. The first US part to take a chance on an Axis. Very good question. I could see maybe Universal doing something like that. I mean, that's such a cool ride. Have part of it being like inside a dark ride segment with those vehicles. I don't know, maybe Universal or obviously Six Flags. I don't see Cedar Fair doing it. Maybe SeaWorld parks. Maybe Dollywood. There's so many different types of parks. Yeah, Fiesta, Texas. That's by far. I really like that park. So I'm working on videos this year, this month, coming up next week or two. First of all, I apologize. The last 2 weeks have been kind of sparse on videos because we're in Myrtle Beach for 3 days. Then my mother and my stepdad came in town for 6 days. And then my mother-in-law came in town for 5 more days. And we had our daughter's first birthday. So I've been very, very busy with like family, entertaining, all that stuff. So I have not really had the best schedule this month, but I'm getting back into the grind now. Everyone's gone, so I'm excited. So stay tuned. Got more videos here. Help me ask out a girl to prom. I promise I'll force her on any coaster if you do. Well, you don't ever want to force a girl to do anything, so that's probably not going to go well for you. How can I help you ask a girl to prom? Just, the worst thing that can happen, they say no. And I've been told no many, many times. You just keep on working at it and you'll get there. But definitely don't make them do anything. Next part to break the height record. I mean, obviously the one in Saudi Arabia, Six Flags Qadiyah, is the one that's breaking it. So the next park, I don't know if you're ever going to beat that. It's going to be tough. I don't see it happening, honestly, unless it's like some other random park. She forces me to do stuff anyway, so what is the harm? Oh, my friend, you have so much to learn. Coaster Cat, give him some advice, please. Quickly describe a coaster that you would design. The world's best coaster that features tunnels, air times, massive hills, and a couple cool inversions. I would love a Hyper Woody. Another one, heck yeah. Will it ever open? Yes. Falcon's Flight, I saw somewhere like it's 50% or 60% complete now. So it's definitely going to open, I believe. How does the launch on other coasters compare to Max Force? Max Force is one of the best launches. The other ones are fun, but not near as intense. Yeah, I really like Gravity Group wooden coasters. They're legit good. I live in the Charlotte area. Yes. Can Disney stay relevant in the coming years? I'm not a big Disney fan, so maybe. I mean, obviously it's popular, but Universal's doing all the things right in my opinion, and with Epic Universe, that's a game changer. Adam, you are right. Prom. I never went to prom. I went to after prom once year, one time, and that was cool because everyone else was out like drinking and stuff. And I'm not doing that, so I went to after prom, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember like leaving at I don't know 5 or 6 in the morning, like walking back to the house and just so tired, but it was good. But I didn't do prom though. I don't think I had asked a girl out, or I don't know. I was probably told no. I still went anyways. With this is a very good question. With lightning rod's launch being removed, could the inclined launch on Falcon's flight be a problem? I mean, I don't think so because it's a different type of obviously manufacturer, and if Falcon's flight's launch is anything like Mavericks, I think it'll be fine. I would love to see Kings Island build a massive RMC hybrid coaster. That would be legit. I hope Kings Dominion gets something new next year as well. Ghoster Coasters, how do you compare the top Six Flags parks to the Cedar Fair chains? The ones Cedar Fair. Six Flags Great America Adventure were both amazing parks to me and didn't get the Six Flags parks jokes when we went. Yeah, I saw you guys had a great time. I just did a video today. Go check out my top Six Flags parks and how I rank them. But I praised Great America, Great Adventure very highly. Fiesta, Texas is my favorite Six Flags park. And I think if I had to rank the parks out of both chains, like combining them, I would go Cedar Point, Kings Island, Fiesta, Texas, Knott's Berry Farm, then probably Great America or Great Adventure, one of those two. Great Adventure is really good because you have the new Vekoma Boomerang, which looks awesome, and then you have El Toro, and then you have what's it called? Jersey Devil is great. Nitro, the Great America is Goliath. It's tough, but they're both really good. They're all really good parks. What do you think of What do you think of the timeline for the new coaster coming to Great Adventure after the Super Boomerang? I think definitely probably 2026. I don't know 2025. I mean, maybe, but I think 2026 for sure. There we go. Are you excited for the head chopper moment and Top Thrill 2 coming down that spike? Absolutely. I cannot wait. That's gonna be great. Hands up the whole entire way. That's gonna be really cool. Probably one of the best ones. Well, baby, I'm ready to go. Will it be played in the station? I wish. I hope that if they were smart, they would. What do I think about Cedar Point moving all the parking off the peninsula to open up more room for more roller coasters? I don't think it'll ever happen. Heck is that noise? Just due to staffing. The park can barely keep up with staffing needs right now, and that would cost so much money to build a parking garage. I don't think they need to. I think there's a lot of room left at Cedar Point for them to build new stuff. Guaranteed coaster, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, 2025. That's what I'm hearing. Ooh, that stinks. So there's a height limit on Top Thrill 2. I've not heard anything about that. Hopefully, that's not the case. What is your favorite boomerang on the East Coast? The one at Morris Piers, Sea Serpent, whatever it's called. It's really good. Jersey Devil's fantastic. I know you didn't get it right, I don't think. It's really good though. It's a lot of fun. It's for my RMC rankings, it's like very low tier for me, but it's a fun ride for sure. Oh, so you did right. Okay, good, good, good. Favorite fall food additions to the parks. I just like good food in general, and I just like to try new offerings. I don't really have a personal favorite. All right, like 2 more minutes here because I got to go watch a show with my wife, and then we got to start packing up as we leave tomorrow for a couple days. Hi, Brandon. I'm slowly applying for college. Congratulations. And I want to be an engineer mostly for mechanics like roller coasters. Is there anyone I can talk to? I mean, you can always try reaching out to coaster manufacturers and see if they can email you back and share some information. I would also try Googling it. Maybe there's a YouTube channel out there that has information on it. There's a lot of there's a lot of ways to network nowadays. But I personally do not know anyone who works at a coaster manufacturer. Yes, King's Dominion is a great park. You'll love it. If money wasn't a thing, what would be your dream backyard roller coaster? I would build like a hybrid RMC hybrid, 30 feet tall, two inversions, a couple airtime hills, and like a stall at the end of it. Am I disappointed that the first launch of Dragster is going to be about the same speed as Maverick's launch? Yes, I wish that initial launch got you up to 100 miles an hour, but it doesn't. So we'll see. What's the best roller coaster to eat dinner on? Smiler, Alton Towers. Thank you, Mick and me. That's a great advice. Yes. Yes. Air Force One backyard coaster. Heck yeah. I love it. I love it. You guys, please give this video a like. Please, please. Let's get to 60 likes. Come on. Really, really appreciate it. Thoughts on Primordial. Fantastic looking ride. I heard it's really good. Staff Force One. Good job, Adam. So if we can get this like or 61 likes, get a couple more if you don't mind. All right, everybody. I'm off. I'm tired. I got to go, but thank you all so much. I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you taking time out tonight to come check out this live stream. I do like doing these, so I appreciate checking it out. With all that being said, you guys know the drill. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to smile today. Think positive. Of course, keep riding coasters.